Greetings, pledges. It's come to my attention that someone or several someones raided the sorority kitchen last night. A jar of almond butter, a sleeve of Oreos, half a loaf of bread, gone. Like animals. And before you open your mouth, no, I don't care who did it. What I care about is the fact that you're still making decisions you already know will ruin your life. You stand in front of two timelines, the version where you wake up proud and the version where you wake up swollen and ashamed. And you choose the ugly one on purpose. You see the future. You see exactly how it ends. The regret, the bloat, the self-loathing. And you still pick that timeline. You blow half your calories before breakfast. You start your day with sugar knowing it will end in a dumpster fire. You buy the giant bag of your trigger food knowing you've never moderated it a single day in your life. You make the purchase, you open the bag, you organize the crime scene, and then you sit there acting shocked by the aftermath. You handcraft the consequences with precision. You build your own downfall and then pretend it was an accident. You don't stumble into the consequences. You engineer them. Let me clear something up, because some of you have built entire fantasies around this. Thin girls are not floating through life without cravings. They're not immune to sugar. They're not genetically disinterested in fresh-baked carbs. Do you honestly think a skinny woman doesn't want a donut at 9 a.m.? Do you think she's never been tempted by a 600-calorie snack? Be serious. The difference isn't desire. The difference is foresight. She looks at the same options you do. She has the same impulses you do. She knows exactly how good it would taste, just like you do. But this is where the separation happens. You choose the timeline where you ruin your day, and she chooses the one where she doesn't. She sees the outcome, the crash, the calories blown before breakfast, the hunger spiral, and she simply chooses better. She's not better than you. She just makes better choices. You both know how the story ends. You both have full access to the consequences. But thin women treat choices like investments. They don't put their calories into things that give nothing back. Meanwhile, you torch your whole day for 5 minutes of mouth pleasure. And then act confused when you're having an anxiety spiral in the fitting room. Every choice has a return. Thin girls demand a good one. You keep selecting the humiliation package. Here's what you still don't understand. Every choice compounds. Every bite, every deviation, every it's fine moment sets off a chain reaction. Whoever was in the kitchen last night embarrassing herself woke up this morning pretending it was just one slip. You probably comforted yourself with some cute little plan to fix it, right? But what you don't understand is this. Your body was watching. Your body was learning. You trained your hunger cues at midnight. You taught your body that eating at 12 a.m. is appropriate. And now you've created a hunger pattern you will have to fight every single night from now on. You didn't just eat. You rewired yourself. This is the part none of you comprehend. Small choices don't stay small. They ripple. They alter the timeline. That harmless snack. That I'll clean it up in the morning. That just a little sugar to start the day. Those are reality-shifting decisions. You think you made one tiny mistake. You actually shifted your entire trajectory. And then you end up in a one-piece with a sarong, praying those photos never touch Instagram. Nothing you do is isolated. Nothing you do is neutral. Everything you do sends out ripples that come back and collect their payment. You're not slipping. You're making choices that quietly dismantle you. And you know what's even sadder? You don't just pick the wrong timeline. You pick the one that was always going to punish you. Thin women don't just eat, they run the timeline. She sees the pastry in the break room, the office booby trap, and she wants it. Of course she does. But she's not delusional. She knows saying yes to it reroutes her entire day. So she asks herself, and these are the questions you should be asking. What future does this push me into? If I say yes to this, what gets subtracted? Is dinner getting smaller? Is this now a 2-meal day? Because the day was already mapped out. Adding a pastry doesn't just fit. It shoves you onto a different timeline unless you correct for it. So she decides, either eat it and commit to the adjustments, or skip it and keep the skinny trajectory she's maintaining. And if you ever see a thin woman eat a pastry, please understand. She already paid for it somewhere else. She didn't mindlessly indulge. She made a trade. Meanwhile, you eat the pastry with zero intention of adjusting anything. You ate the pastry and kept the full lunch. You ate the pastry and kept the full dinner. You ate the pastry and still snacked through the afternoon. You ate it knowing damn well you weren't going to compensate for it. And then you act confused when you're not living on the same timeline. She is. Thin women don't stay thin because they get lucky. They stay thin because every yes comes with a plan. And you say yes with nothing to back it up. I don't know what's worse, the pastry or the fact that you actually thought you could get away with it. Every time you put something in your mouth, you're choosing a future self. Every bite is a vote. Every choice is a direction. Every moment is a fork in the timeline. So tell me, which future are you feeding? You say you want to be hot, calm, in control, put together. But you keep feeding the version of you who hates her reflection, who avoids cameras, who wakes up swollen with regret, who knows better and refuses to choose better. Do you understand how humiliating that is? Thin women don't eat perfectly. They eat intentionally. They choose the future they want to live inside of. Meanwhile, you hand your future to the nearest impulse and pray it magically becomes the woman you dream about. It won't. You can only become the girl you consistently feed. You already know exactly who you'd become if you'd stop feeding the wrong timeline. You can see her. You can feel her. She's not a mystery, but every day you choose someone else instead. I want you to know you're not failing because it's hard. You're failing because you keep feeding the version of yourself you claim you're trying to escape. And until that embarrasses you more than the pastry does, nothing changes. If you're ready to start waking up on the timeline you actually respect, consider this your fork in the road. The house is on Patreon. Meeting adjourned.